suppose that leads me right into the first topic of the day, which is to essentially recap. Now, the EFAP audience may be aware of this, but the last EFAP caused some trouble. Just a little bit. Some people were upset with it. As you may know,
I didn't hear anything about this.
it was a strict 12 hours of me, Rags, and Wolf bashing Jenny. We didn't talk about a video even. It was just her. It was a paused frame, and that's all it was. It was tough, I'll admit. We had, energy drinks, and we had to take, like, there was just these portions where after we'd spoken for 2 hours non-stop, we were like, take a breath in, make sure you get some breaks in. But that happened, and we got in trouble on Twitter. I say we, Wolf and Rags don't have to deal with it because, they made the wise decisions of not having Twitter at that point. Wolf actually got one back during it, I think? I can't actually remember.
What a great time to do that.
Hmm?
What a great time to do that.
Oh, yeah. No, so Wolf got a Twitter account, and he came back for his first full EFAP the same time we got the biggest drama we've ever faced. So,
and he gets his Twitter back around the same time, too. And he started dealing with some of these people.
Oh, and he got, a small suspension, didn't he? 'Cause he used a no-no word.
Ooh, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
Did he already get
I
a
got
small
a suspension too.
Oh, yeah, you got one for no stupid-ass reason, but, yeah.
Well, and I got one because someone reported me, and then I wrote to Twitter's helpline, and they just straight up gave me back my account immediately without sending any message.
Which makes you think, is their reporting system automated? How does that work?
Well, I sent them context what I was saying to prove that it wasn't just some random personal attack and that it was based in fact. So maybe that was what it did, but since when does Twitter care about that?
Fair enough. But it was funny because I was just chilling out, and then I noticed suddenly that the ratings on the last EFAP had plummeted, and I was like, what the hell? Did we piss off a bunch of the audience with covering Jenny or something? I was like, I don't know, I think they didn't seem to care in the live chat that much. Some people can be defensive if you cover certain creators, and I think that's totally natural. So I was just like, maybe we stepped on a nerve with Jenny. But I was like, oh, all the top comments are still positive.
I noticed that too.
I was like, where's this coming from? And then I was just looking around and found out that Jenny had tweeted out the stream, or at least a screenshot of it, and she was like, someone made an 11-hour video on me. It is like, oh no. Because when you're a very popular person and you make a tweet like that, the second I saw it, I was like, oh, we're going to be dealing with a lot of messages now. A lot of assumptions, and that's when I had to get to work for a good... I was editing Batwoman episode 5 when I was dealing with all this Twitter stuff. It was such a bizarre tonal shift going back and forth with Twitter, because you go back to Ruby Rose delivering a horrible line or some stupid plot point that makes no sense and everyone laughing at it, but then back to you run an alt-right Nazi podcast where you hurt women's feelings regularly. It's like, oh. But natural internet experience when you get to this point of... I don't know, guys, have you guys done this before? Criticized a woman? Have you done that?
I try to stay clear.
You're not supposed to do that.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was saying, have you ever done it? I know you're not supposed to.
From what I understand, EFAP specifically only focuses on women, according to Jenny Nicholson's fans. That's what I've heard.
Well,
and I'm a little upset and a little triggered right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Ultimately, what am I supposed to do? She didn't tell me she was a woman before we went after her. You're supposed to do that. But yeah.
Well,
you can't just assume her pronouns.
Well, just being within the Star Wars criticism right now, they will say that we only focus on criticizing Rey and Rose and Kathleen Kennedy, but we pretty much criticize Rian Johnson every day. We're not fans of a lot of the characters, whether they're male or female, but it's when they can build that narrative around a woman and they can just pretend that you're woman hating. And I saw this happen. You guys have covered nothing but men for the most part on EFAP. You cover a prominent female once, and you're all of a sudden just building your entire show around hating women. So that's how it goes.
And yeah, just a lot of labels floating around, and I was just gonna say we're bullies, we humiliate people, and we're incels and stuff, and I'm just like, calling Rags an incel, really? I don't know. It doesn't really match up. And then the whole humiliate part is just we listen to people's videos. if they humiliated, it's not our fault. We didn't force no bullshit to say that it was SJW to have a large midget in Infinity War, okay? Like, he said that on his own volition. But he was a guy, so it didn't matter. Like that, you know, it doesn't. Besides, he's one of the people they hate anyway. So, but yeah, I was just gonna show you some random comments that I started seeing on the video because I was like, wait, what's happening? I don't. Up to you. We'll start with a almost ambiguous one. Do you guys think this is serious or a troll? Because I'm still undecided. I don't know if it's just poorly spelt or if it's trolling.
Shall I read it or?
Go ahead.
As if I want to see more videos of men mansplaining things to women, you should be ashamed of yourselves and hide behind a rocks.
That's a troll.
No
That has
thumbs
to be-
up. No thumbs
It's hard
up.
to tell. It's hard to tell.
It is hard to tell. I don't know. It's on the. It's like the straddling the line. It's like behind the rocks. Like, I love it.
That is hard to tell. But
Like-
either way, that's the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty of it.
So
It's got to be a troll. Jon Snow 1546521. That's his name.
I mean, you could have. There could be a guy out there with that name. Like, why not? I don't know.
Maybe he's only a fan of season 8.
All right, I'm checking out chat. Are we thinking troll? It seems. I think most people are assuming it's a troll. It's fine. Let's check out. I don't know, Jeremy. Do you want to do the honors for this one?
Jon Snow again. The stream is a bunch of mean-spirited personal attacks against a fun and friendly YouTuber who is popular and weird and unique and makes a lot of fresh and fun content. How many ands can you put? Oh my god. I'm not with the cancel culture SJWs. But
I just realized I haven't
honestly,
hit read more. I'm pretty sure this one was really funny, and I accidentally snipped it without hitting read more.
Yeah.
Damn
that's
it!
true. This was. You got another one? You wanna?
Well, yeah,
Post it.
I do have. I have a backup one. So have fun with this one, Jeremy. Screw that one.
There we go. All right, here we go. Maddie Doggo, you spent 11 fucking hours, 6 of which related to the video about some YouTuber. God damn, you're a pathetic fucking joke. Hilarious that you have literally. I hate everything, and the fury so deep in the closet. What the fuck? In the closet, he missed the turn to Narnia. Guessing anytime a woman exists, you cry like a bitch, huh? Whatever, here comes the 12-hour response to a YouTube comment. Hope your channel burns and you. Also, quit giving Mask a bad rep.
I don't even need the read more on that one. That's just great on its own.
Okay, that one's real.
Oh,
I think that was real myself.
That one's real.
So deep in the closet, he missed the turn to Narnia. That's a good line. That's a good line.
I just like the anytime a woman
No, he boxed the hell out
exists,
of
you
it.
cry like a bitch. What?
hope your channel burns and you.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Period.
and then
Also, quit giving gas masks a bad rep. Mahler's biggest crime: he gives a gas mask a bad rep.
so I just got another one. I don't know, Ryan. Do you want to check this one out?
Oh yes. From Matt Frank, 11 hours. This thing is 11 hours long. I started listening to it and it was so weird, but I could actually see my own life shortening. The precious grains of sand that gently flow through the hourglass of life actually sped up for me. I was literally dying faster as I listened to whatever the hell this is supposed to be. Anyway, Joker was kind of bad.
I love that ending.
That one's fake.
That
That one's
great.
fake. That was fun.
Anyway, joke is kind of bad.
Good cinematography, though.
Oh, so this is what I mean. Like, there's lots of just the 11 hours thing, and I got confused by it because the video was 11:48, so you'd think they'd go with 12, wouldn't you? But the narrative was 11. I guess they gave us that 48 minutes as, oh, that was probably time they spent, you know, with intros and outros. So
Well, you know, they
that'd be
glimpsed they basically glimpsed that too. So
Yeah, they didn't take the time to read.
They
the rest
glimpsed
of
the
timestamp.
11 part of it. They were like, yep, got him.
yeah.
And that was the thing that was so ridiculous about this whole thing that was going on Twitter. Like, the people would be like, I can't believe they spent 11 fucking hours complaining about a woman. And then you or someone else would say, the whole 11 hours wasn't about that. It was about this, and this. And they're like, you think I would actually watch it? That's the response. They just admitted they have no idea what they're talking about.
Who was that columnist, the New York columnist verified on Twitter that retweeted you guys and was like, imagine being this upset about a woman. Who was that? Do you remember his name?
There was some cuck from the Huffington Post.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I remember.
I can't remember the name, but yeah.
I just simply retweeted him. I can't remember his name. Let's say his name was John, for instance. So I said, she's not going to fuck you, John. Talking about Jenny Nicholson, because these people are so pathetic.
So after a bit after that, we got this thread got made on Reddit. I don't know if you guys have heard about this one, because I tweeted it out because I was blown away by the existence of this.
I heard about it.
Like, just so fucking dishonest, but funny to say the least. I can link you guys it, but obviously it's down for now.
Did it get shut down after you retweeted it? Is that what it was?
Yeah, and don't mention the only fucking comment that's still there, because I'm gonna reveal that to the audience, because I know they'll love it. But yeah, like so just so people can see it, it looks like this, like the thread. But the thread read, a red pill YouTuber makes an 11-hour long response to a Jenny Nicholson video where she gave her opinion on why she didn't like Joker. So like, red pill? Like, where the hell did this come from? Like, and yeah, like the account that made this fucking hates EFAP. There was like a lot of comments in relation to it, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like me and Rags will be infinitely surprised at how much people despise us. We shouldn't be, but this exists. Luckily, the when you make a thread on Reddit, it's like permanent, or it can be archived or whatever. So I can still we can check out some of the comments on it in a second, but I was going to say, like, the top comments were just filled with how disgusting and horrible we all are, pretty much. And reading through it was interesting, because it was just like, any of you seen it? Any of you seen it? Just put up a hand. No. I mean, any of the comments, have they seen the show?
Yeah.
And
because I really wish I would have read this. I really wish I would have read this. I remember when you posted it, I just didn't click on it, but I would have loved to have seen.
But the reason it got booped was because it broke Rule 1, which is content must depict an embarrassing interaction between 2 or more people. Now, it was between 3 people, so it wasn't that. It was that it didn't depict an embarrassing interaction. It wasn't. This is on Cringe, the subreddit, and the moderators, I guess, decided that this is not cringe. So, rip, I guess. And like, there's nothing more satisfying than knowing that the guy who made that thread, who hates EFAP, was told that it's not cringe. And he'd be like, no. So yeah, all that remains on the thread. I mean, you guys have already seen this if you've looked at that link, but I'll just show the audience, is one comment that says, just as the spiders foretold. Which is the fucking greatest meme ever for this thread. Like, I don't know how that happened, but it's like the best thing ever.
It's the only one standing amongst a sea of removal.
Like obviously the mods saw that, they're like, oh yeah, no, you can't delete comments about the spiders' predictions. That's.
I like to think that's what happened. I like to think it was a mod who knew about EFAP and thought this would stay.
The fucking mod was a fan of EFAP, yeah.
Yeah, he used a dog whistle. Hey, that's how we can wake Regs up.
Oh yeah, do it.
Dog whistle,
Everybody, shoot up your dog whistles. That's what you do with a dog whistle. You shoot them up.
Pepe.
Anyway, so if you guys click this, it's essentially like gets you into a Reddit thread that's been deleted, and oh wait, why is it changed now? They've all been censored.
What?
Oh no, wait,
they're
they're back. They're back. Oh god, for a moment there, I was like, the whole point of you is to show us things that get deleted, not delete them. So you got the top comment, which is pretty fair. Yeah, I'm not watching this. It's like, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I wouldn't ask anyone to watch 11-hour stream just out of randomness, but then you got, how dare someone not like something I do and lots of other people's do? I must pwn this cretin with my immense brain. So that's how they see discussion now. Interesting. Like, we did say she was wrong for disliking Joker. Anyone can dislike it. It's all good. Then you start to cycle down a bit more. Oh yeah, I'm skipping over all the responses, by the way, because there's a shit ton of arguments about how, like, this is wrong, because there's a lot of EFAP fans who do not like this being the narrative. Jesus Christ, ain't nobody got time for that. It's like, I don't know, man. It's just over 100k views at this point, like some people do. Let's see.
But this is the whole thing about it. I mean, why are you and I and Wolf and Rags, or why are we friendly now? Mainly because Wolf, put me in a video on something he didn't, opinions of mine he didn't like, and I responded the way I respond. And then Wolf was like, hell yeah, like, we were cool. We had a discussion about it. You know what I mean?
And like
it's
I told
not like
you,
I was claiming like
I met him by taking a shot at him, so
how I was gonna work into that, because when we had the discussion about how he and I met and then ultimately got to come on EFAP, you told me how you guys met. Conversations are not attacks. Challenging your opinion is not an attack. It's a discussion, and you can either choose how you want to handle that. And if you want to play the victim, you clearly can do that. You can always paint that narrative around it. But I'm sure that if she wanted to have a discussion about her opinion with you and you guys, I'm sure you would have it. She doesn't want that.
Well, thinking about it, this wasn't actually planned. I just thought it was like you and Jay are both technically people who and now have come on here semi-regularly and regularly, and you started out as being people who could be considered antagonists to a degree, differing degrees. But it's just interesting how that happened, and then other things can happen. For example, I'm not watching 11 hours of red pill bullshit. I can guarantee this is cringe. The entire subculture is cringe. Worse than furries, because at least furries don't shoot up mosques or schools when they're not getting laid.
Jesus.
Like, if you watch the EFAP where we're talking about that and we're making all these Jeb memes and just hanging out and having fun, then that's someone's takeaway. You'd be like,
Jeb, those school children must pay.
Yeah, then you've got like comments. We're starting to get to this all comments now that are like, hey, this isn't actually what you're saying it is. And then like Moeller is a red pillar. Like Moeller's a black pillar. He's more of an alt-right capital G gamer. I'm like the quartering. Clean Prince Gaming, apparently. Okay. I've never come to the conclusion after watching one of his videos. It's because, yeah, red pill's the whole, like, what is the does anyone here know what, like, the basic tenets of a red pillar are?
Well, I think it's in reference to the Matrix.
People in the comments were saying it was, you are a men's rights activist.
An MRA.
Yeah.
I don't remember that coming up. But maybe it's because we criticized Jenny and she is a woman, therefore we hate women and love men. That must be the through line there. Very solid.
Yeah,
I
mean,
I think it's clear that this is not a red-pilled podcast. If you look at what you titled this stream, Mahler, it says Rep-pilled podcast.
Oh, no.
So you're definitely not red-pilled. You don't even know how to spell it. So I think that's,
I should have.
TFO, libtards.
You know what? I'm going to change it, as chat has honestly well suggested. It should be Jeb-pilled. That is the EFAP podcast.
Yes.
Someone in the Reddit thread here is on it. They're like, you're confused. They're not red pills. They're just incels.
Oh, okay. I love the idea that they're like, I'm helping you, EFAP. It's like, no, you're not. Okay.
Well, I don't know if they thought they were helping or not.
Well, that's true, yeah. Rep-pilled.
Maybe they just thought they were setting the record straight. Maybe they thought that was nice.
You know what, I shouldn't complain. It's better than the rest of it, I suppose. Yeah.
I like it.
Look at the God I used to watch Rags, not proud of it. It's like, wow. Okay.
They're so funny. I saw one that's like, I think his Force Awakens intro, or his criticism of the Force Awakens intro video is longer than the film itself. That boy ain't right. That's what I saw.
I mean, if you put all the time you've talked about anything into like one selection, and it turns out to be longer than the thing itself, you need help, guys. You need help. Can't be doing that.
Okay.
Um,
You can't talk about moments in a movie without it going longer than the moment itself, and therefore you're bad and need help.
Toxic.
What if you just like you're disabled and you can't speak fast? That's not an ability you have.
Nope, you're psycho.
look at this. It must be hard being a female YouTuber when you have things like this happening. What? we've gone after 95% men. Like what?
No. They're saying it must be difficult for her because she's a woman.
Oh, because women are
She's like-
weak. Because women.
Yeah, she's sitting there thinking,
okay.
man, if only I was a man and strong enough to take criticism.
Someone says, "Excuse me, a woman had an opinion. I need to go screech for 11 hours straight." And then someone responds, "I don't appreciate you misgendering Angry Joe."
Oh yeah, because we cover him for a portion of the.
This is it though, that they believe women can't stand with their own opinions. They believe they have to have the white knights come after them. They discredit women every time they have an opinion they don't agree with. I just posted, with this video that Darth Barbie posted her I don't like the Last Jedi. In the comment, they're like, "You're letting Jeremy from Geek to Gamers influence you." What? Because if a woman has an opinion that says the Last Jedi sucks, you must not have came to that opinion herself. It must be the toxic man. And then like, a woman can't be a YouTuber because you can't criticize her. It's so tough for them.
And this is the thing, man. I don't know if you've seen her video.
Guys get more hate than anybody.
Oh yeah, I think Lindsay Ellis recently came out talking about how horrible it is to have like onslaughts of people ragging the shit out of you, and then getting to the point where they stop you from being able to have friends of difficult political positions, which is something that happens to guys as well, no matter what political fucking position you hold. And it's just like, you guys, kind of did that to us, but okay, we're fine. We'll laugh it off, because most of this is coming from people who literally have no fucking clue what the video is, or who I am, or who Rags is. So, like, it can't actually get to us on a personal level because it's not actually entered into the personal realm yet. They based it off a thumbnail, which is kind of an interesting social experiment, right? It's like, could you just make up a thumbnail, post it to Cringe, and be like, look at these people being gross. People are like, whoa. Were they men? What if they'd hang on, like the title was Red Pill YouTuber. What if Wolf and Rags, because they wouldn't have known, what if those two were women?
No, that doesn't matter. Well, I'm sure the poster was familiar with EFAP, right?
Yeah, the poster
Wasn't that what
was.
you said?
But he says a Red Pill YouTuber. He didn't even specify that I'm a guy. I guess if you respond to Jenny Nicholson, you have to be a guy? Like, why else would you? Is that the... This is complicated, okay? I'm trying to keep track of the rules.
Down the rabbit hole right now.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending rabbit hole of nonsense.
Dude, you're trying to keep up with consistent rules here. Come on, dude.
I'm sorry.
It's just not going to work. It's a fruitless endeavor. Just stop.
But yeah, we had... So that the Huffington Post guy, Cosmonaut Variety Hour, Linkara, some fairies, lots of, I guess, well-known, like, Twitter people, because they were getting, like, thousands, upwards of tens of thousands of like, likes and retweets about how terrible EFAP is, and I was just like, how is this happening? Like, is it just that's how much a screenshot can spread, I guess? But I do want to mention that Linkara and Cosmonaut Variety Hour both pulled their shit back. They were like, okay, may have jumped the gun. This is clearly not entirely what I thought it was. But you can see why I assumed it was, right? And it's just like, yeah, but you're wrong. And it's like, okay, good. So
I may have actually watched it.
And Linkara removed his blog about how terrible it was, and I think Cosmonaut just put out a tweet saying that he was wrong. So that was cool. It doesn't happen often, but we got there with 2 people out of the thousands. Progress in small steps, guys. Okay, so you make it sound like it's impossible, but it's possible.
Yeah, I saw Linkara come out, and I immediately linked Medicur's. I think it was that guy with the glasses, episode 3.
Oh man, that's Green M&M. I don't know what the fuck to think about that. Yeah, it's just another Twitter take. Yes. Who hasn't read stuff? That's bullshit. Now you got to do it.
All right. As somebody who actually has watched a couple of EFAP streams all the way through and has sat through a couple hours of Mahler's content, I can tell you right now that they are not even worth touching. It's content for people who think CinemaSins is funny and follows people like Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder like their words are gospel. It's worthless content, and they are garbage people.
So, couple things, right? One of our most consistent guests got started on YouTube by ripping into CinemaSins.
Yes. That's a thing.
Like, I do not get this take that it's like, oh, they're like CinemaSins people. It's like, no, we don't like CinemaSins. We have lots of issues with CinemaSins. Like, okay, and then where does this Shapiro and Crowder thing come from? Like, what?
It's the classic right there. That's to paint you the conservative alt-righters right there. That's where that comes from.
It's like
Ben Shapiro is a fucking clown. That's.
Well, then apparently we're clowns, Jay. How do you feel?
Ben Shapiro stars in Joker.
All right, then.
I'm not political.
And that's the thing. It's everything turns into incel, Nazi, alt-right, whatever it may be. When, first of all, the alt-right hates Ben Shapiro for reasons. Obviously, they hate Steven Crowder. They're constantly at odds. So just the constant trying to lump people in with all these groups of people that you think other people hate as a way to discredit them is just disingenuous and shitty.
I mean, they don't like Crowder and Shapiro. So then they're like, oh, here's another group of people I don't like. These people must be connected to the other people I don't like. They must be fans. They must be supporters. Because everything in my mind has to connect everyone in the same boat. They all are toxic, and they're all far righters.
Jeremy, do you want to jump on this one? I think you'll like it.
Oh, boy. Sometimes the toxic nature of straight white men on YouTube will never cease to amaze me. Imagine hating on the best YouTube channel of all time for 11 hours straight and being this passionate about a fucking clown movie. Fragile men are simply a disease. There's no other explanation. Wow. So Jenny Nicholson has the best YouTube channel of all time.
Not bad. And
not bad. Not
damn,
bad.
It sucks being born a white man because you just got a toxic nature. There's got to be a way to get rid of that, right, guys? There's got to be a way.
So imagine being this passionate about a fucking clown movie. Yeah, imagine being the media hoping for a mass shooting around a clown movie and then being disappointed when it didn't happen because that's the type of nonsense.
The clown movie has been the fucking talk. What the? I don't even like this. It's like fucking Star Wars, the Space Wizard movie. It's like, give me any movie, then you can just find a thing in the movie and be like, oh, it's that movie.
Exactly. You can take that and build that narrative around anything. I mean, I love Toy Story, for instance. Oh, I can't believe he's passionate about a fucking toy movie. Yeah, I mean, literally, any movie you can build that narrative around. It's just nonsense.
I mean, like, what's the most serious film that ever existed? And then we just have to find something stupid in the film, like a guy reading a book and be like, fucking book movie. Okay.
Meanwhile, imagine being this passionate about a YouTube channel that you don't like, which is what this person's doing. They're upset that someone's passionate about a fucking clown movie, yet they're showing equal passion for a YouTube channel that they don't even understand just because of a headline that they're looking at and not taking time to read the context. And of course, you're all straight white men. And that is a fact.
No.
Try to dispute this with anything other than facts, because that's a fact. Everybody who disagrees is a straight white man, and you're toxic, and you're an alt-righter.
It's my favorite thing when people like try to go, "Oh, you fucking straight white man," to someone to try and discredit them, and they're wrong.
Well, like the fact that fucking both Rags and Wolf are not straight white men, so. When they're not straight or they're not white or fuck it, they've recently come out as trans. Oof, that would be really awkward then, wouldn't it? Because then they'd be in trouble. Like, too much assumptions. But I
mean, one thing I've noticed with being a member of the Fandom Menace and even obviously with Geeks and Gamers is if you are not a straight white male that has an opinion that they disagree with, they just don't acknowledge your existence at that point. You know, they're either going to brand you a straight white male for your opinions, regardless if you are or not. And then they find out if you have a prominent voice and you say, "Oh, I don't like this movie," or I'm not against that, or I'm not for this. They just don't acknowledge your opinions if they can't build their nonsense around it. You're irrelevant to them at that point.
Or they go the extra step and they call you either like a race traitor or a
Right.
or an internalized blank. So they can use the word still. Yeah. So it's like internalized homophobia, and there you go. A gay man is now the enemy.
Exactly.
So it wasn't all bad. There was some fucking hilarious takes on Twitter that I've never seen before, and I do not believe this guy is a troll. I think that we've found what is one of the most genuine boomers in the wild. So I'm gonna read this one out because it's too fucking funny. But so this is during the whole Jenny thing. Someone weighs in on the conversation about EFAP. I don't understand how these people got YouTube accounts in the first place. What YouTube executive decided to pick up these shows? How did these people slip through the interview process? Do you think that's how it works, mate? I assume they either self-finance pilots to pitch to YouTube or get funding from television distribution companies, or produce on spec scripts, same as any shows on Netflix or NBC or whatever. It's YouTube. You just sign up for an account and you're good. Literally anyone can do it. You can't just make your own videos, dude. Cameras and sound recording equipment and lighting equipment and mixing boards cost tens of thousands of dollars. Not to mention the cost of film stock, videotapes, or transmitting to broadcaster. I worked in this stuff in the 90s. You have to be trolling.
Come on!
Oh my goodness.
I've never seen someone so lost before.
Wow. I can confirm my channel has over 200,000 subs, and I have a $75 webcam from Target, and I'm very proud of it.
Wait, who produced that? How did you get funded? Who approved of your show idea? How did
I did, yeah. I mean, I had to go. It was a really strict process. I had to go through 6 months of background checks, drug tested every single day. Even tested for the the type of drinks that I couldn't drink soft drinks for 6 months during the approval process going to YouTube. Couldn't masturbate, which really sucked. It was a tough time, but hey, I'm here now, and those 6 months of hell, it's all worth it. So thank you to YouTube for approving me. And by the way, Susan is great. Susan is wonderful. All hail Susan.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's all well and good, but come on, dude. YouTube
all well and
execs, you actually spoke to them? I mean,
I spoke to YouTube. I mean, they came to my house. They blindfolded me.
Oh, okay.
Beat me and gagged me for about 6 to 7 minutes. And then I woke up in it was just a padded room, and Susan walked in with sunglasses. She never took her sunglasses off, and grilled me for about 45 minutes, mainly by voting preferences. Am I going to support Bernie? Things like that. How did Epstein die? And clearly, I'm still here today, so I said the right things.
Well, I was just going to say, it was really stressful the day I walked into that board of directors, and I was like, I put on a big whiteboard, and I just put EFAP on there, and then they were like, what's that? And I'm like, let me tell you a story. There for a good few hours, but yeah, I got funding, and I got 100 episodes approved, and we're waiting to see if we've got the next 100 in the next few weeks, so how about that?
And there's specific questions where, are you alt-right Nazis? Okay, cool, we approve of those all the time.
Yep.
Up you go.
Yeah, Jay was there obviously as manager. He was given a lot of the reins in terms of how he.
I was one of the people interviewing you. That's how I became manager.
Yeah, you saw the potential. You were like, guys, this is gonna work. This is.
I'll pick this show up.
Can you
Imagine thinking a YouTuber has to go through the process. And the only way any YouTuber can get YouTube's attention is to go on Twitter and tag them and have your followers retweet so you can get an answer from them. You have to go through that process. Even Markiplier, for crying out loud, can't get YouTube to talk to you.
I just imagine sitting this guy down and showing him like how YouTube works and how you do it and how simple it all is. I could just see him being like, "Oh my god!"
And he'll be like, "But where did they get the cameras though?"
Doesn't make sense.
I assume they're either self-financed pilots to pitch to YouTube. Like, if you look through YouTube and see all of the idiots on here, all of us that are just uploading whatever we think, and that's the assumption you come out with. There's no way that this dude is any less than 70 or 80 years old. There's no possibility.
I mean, most people say he's old boomer, or he's a fake, like he's a troll, and I'm like, I don't know, man. It's a good troll if it is a troll, because it's how that person would behave if that person existed. The one who worked in TV in the 90s and then was put on pause until now. They were like, what is this internet you're all talking about?
Spyro says 7th generation New Yorker. That's consistent with what we've seen. Right?
Yeah. I wonder if he ever, like, this was the day. He's been on Twitter for ages, and then he was just like, I should look into this YouTube thing. Oh, you know what it was as well? He probably saw all the late night shows on YouTube, and he was like, oh, yeah.
I've seen stuff like Mindfield and...
Yep.
That's like when my grandma found out that I had a YouTube channel. She texted me, "How did you get on TV?" That is exactly the response I expected this person would also have.
Ooh, Rags has notified me. I believe he may be here.
Hey.
Rags isn't real.
What? Wait, is he not? Did he get?
Oh.
What?
Is he just like some little puppet I have? And in the EFAP like boardroom, I had the EFAP thing, and then I had like a Wolf and Rags puppet, and I was like, "This movie's so this video's so bad." And he goes, "Yes, it's very bad." And I'm like, "What do you think?"
I keep mentioning him and saying you've streamed with him, but none of us have ever met him.
It's true. Right, he is on the way. Let's see. I think we're near the end of the Twitter saga. Oh yeah, this one's cool. So this is a nice one I got on the Jenny. Oh no, not it was the following Batwoman mini. So I don't know who wants to read this out. It's a nice one.
I'll take it. I must apologize to you lads. A couple days ago, I fell for some Reddit crap framing you as incels and made an unpleasant comment on your video. Let me move this over. Hang on, there's something in my way here. Sorry. And made an unpleasant comment on your video. After watching a few hours of your content, I can admit I was wrong. My bad, lads. My bad.
No.
So I just want to make sure I've gotten the story straight so far. Okay, that was not... Yeah,
oh yeah, that's fine.
Related.
Because Longshanks is very invested in us covering Batwoman. He's ready to call it out. Yeah, but so like just the idea that this probably didn't work out very well for the people who hate EFAP. Like we had a bump in subs, and it's our second most popular episode now. So thanks. And we'll get over the incel comments. It's not really something that's going to bother us that much. We'll be like, oh no.
This is what they do. They destroy everything that they try to help, and then they help everything they try to destroy. I mean, like look, the Joker. First $1 billion film. Rated R film. They all these crazy lunatics obsessed with identity politics and white men being the most awful things in the planet. They complained about the Joker, and all they did is elevate it. All they did is help EFAP, gave you guys some of the best traction you've had ever. So
yeah, which, like I said, it's just like thanks, I guess. And the Twitter war was worth it, I guess. And obviously, thank you to a lot of the people, including Ryan and Jeremy and Jay. And there's lots of names. I don't want to try and name them because I'm going to miss people, and then I'll feel like an asshole. So all the people who lent a hand and looked into all this nonsense during those fun times on Twitter, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And it all has calmed down until, of course, we cover Jenny again, which when that happens,
I have to wonder how soon that'll be.
It sucks because like we pretty much capped it with that one, the 12-hour cap thing. Like we can't really go further. I was like, oh, let's do a fucking 24-hour Jenny stream. But yeah, it's been fun. Hello, Rags. How'd you do?
Hello. I do well.
We've been recanting the fun times that Twitter had for us. Or,
yeah, we had a great time, and I'm rarely does a day go by where I say, man, I really miss being on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was watching some of that in parts, and I'm just all like, I can't be bothered to even read all of this. Fuck Twitter, dude.
Oh yeah, special mention, I guess, for Anna, that Star Wars girl. She actually made a video covering this, going over how ridiculous the whole thing was. Like, appreciate that as well. Luckily, the narrative just died. Like, it just didn't work for very long, because the second you look into it, right? And this is the funny thing that I had a lot of people talking about. So it's framed as a horrible, sexist, monster incel podcast, and the in the opening 10 minutes, me and Wolf are discussing how much we love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's like so people who've been sent there to hate it, and they're like, fucking, I'm so ready to rip into this, and they're listening, and they're like talking about how much they like Buffy. Okay, that's sexist, probably. And yeah, you can skip around, and you can there was a guy, I don't know if any of you saw it on Twitter, but there was a guy who made that 4-minute compilation of all the worst things we said, which involves stuff like she's being retarded, or she looks kind of like an android, or her lighting isn't good. It was just 4 minutes, and then like basically every comment was like, so what about the other 11 hours and 44 minutes? Was there anything else in there? Yeah, and
is that the one where they clipped Anna's stream also?
Yes, and it didn't work out very well.
Hell and back.
One of the points she made, I just wanted to highlight this because it was funny. One of the points she made is that she went into a drive-through viewing of Joker, and she said the reason for that is in case there was a shooter.
Oh my god.
So you might have the question, as we did, you'd get that your car doesn't stop a shooter, right? Like that, like that's a weird line of logic. And she was asked that on her video, and that was her response. If it's not showing up, oh yeah, there it is. So it said, Jenny, you do know that cars aren't bulletproof, right? Windows especially not bulletproof. And she said, car drive over man with gun.
Now, I'm sure that'll work great for you.
Just talk about conveniences. So the man decided to not only allow you to start up and drive your car forward into him, but he also stood in front of it as well. Like, this shooter doesn't sound very intelligent, but alright, if that's how it works out, you know?
I think that's one of those fantasies people have in their head that they have when they haven't considered reality in any way, shape, or form.
I'm sorry, no, I refuse to believe that that was her actual thought process. Like, oh, I'm going to go to a drive-in one, so if there's a shooter, I can run them over. Like there's no way. That's how justifying it.
He's in front.
That's how justifying it after the fact. There's no way that's actually what she thought at the time.
I think that
in case there's shooting at the drive-in theater, I'll just fucking run them over with my car.
I just assumed she realized it didn't make sense, and then she was like, I could defend it this way, and then she probably read that back and was like, oh, fuck. Oh, well, it's in there now.
This is the person that assumed or said that it was a bunch of men clapping in the theater.
Yeah, weird
How
comment.
do you know this?
I know a woman's clap. I'm a woman. I know what a woman's clap sounds like.
For anyone that's been to a drive-in, getting out of there is the biggest pain in the ass in the world because there's a million cars trying to drive through a little area. It's exactly the same as a crowded theater trying to get out. So I don't even think she actually went to a drive-in, but I guess we can't prove that.
You reckon she didn't even go to one? Yeah, like...
I think she's just saying that. Yeah.
Well, for me, I'd just be like, did you go to one? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But, like, you didn't go there to prevent a person from shooting you, right? That's a really weird thing to say.
Overall, it's just the whole takeaway is that she thought that the articles were real about people that's going to shoot this movie up, and really, that's just ridiculous on its own. Honestly,
she's a gullible lady. Then,
so yeah, I was just gonna.
Just the amount of uninformed people. I think that's the general takeaway. Like every person we saw on Twitter talking about that, I saw people being like, "It's clearly some sort of sexual reference. It's called EFAP." I can't believe they're talking about a woman on here like that. It's just people have no idea what's going on.
We let the audience name it, and by God, they came up with a clever name. Like, what can I say? It's like 3 layers of referential. Like we couldn't. We had like a poll, we had some good ideas, but EFAP, it just won. And I remember when I announced it on Twitter, there was a guy who was like, I don't know, man, that's kind of makes you kind of brings your podcast into like is it like a sexual podcast? And I was like, yeah, that's the point though. It's so great. People are gonna be like, wait, there's a podcast called EFAP that covers video essays and discusses like philosophy and ideas about themes and breakdowns, and thousands of people watch it. It's called EFAP? Like, I don't know. It's the thing you just don't believe. And that's what's so wonderful about it. It's about family.
EFAP's about family.
That's the theme. There you
Talking
go.
with other people's families.
We have all of the themes in EFAP. So, there was a guy, I caught this by chance, and he has no idea I'm probably going to do this, but I thought it was an interesting video. He made an edited version of the stream, which I'm now going to place into the description if you guys want to see, which basically just has all of the arguments presented and counted from Jenny. Well, from us, from Jenny, if that makes sense. It comes to 3 hours, 19 minutes. So, that's how much time we actually spent on it.
Mhm.
Still monsters, agreed. Still disgusting creatures, I know. But I'll give you guys a link to the
Toxic
watch
fruit
together. We're gonna. He made like a little commentary video about it, and we're just gonna check out like the first half of it because I was amused by it. So if everyone jumps in, if you haven't used Watch Together before, it's just you just click that and you're dropped into like a room where I'm gonna play a video and. You can change the volume for yourself, it won't affect anyone else's, but if you pause, it pauses for everybody.
Funny Panda's epic laughs.
I don't know why that. I don't know why that makes me giggle every time. It's the pandas again.
Fucking pandas, dude. Yeah.
Whenever I see that the epic laughs, I remember years and years ago how epic fail was the big thing.
Yes.
Years ago.
Well,
Everything was
epic laughs is the new
epic
thing now, yeah.
fail. Epic fail. Epic fail.
Yeah, just check us out. And then we got a meme video that's specifically about the Twitter thing, and then I will happily say that is the end of the Twitter thing, but not quite yet.
Hi, my name is Carl, and I am human. Anyways, today I wanted to talk about something that has been bothering me for a while now. At the beginning of November of 2019, a video stream was presented by the EFAP crew consisting of Mauler, Wolf, and the episode's guest, Regs. The topic of the stream was Jenny Nicholson's video titled, Well, I didn't like Joker. And while the stream itself lasted 11 hours, the part that addresses Jenny's video itself is only 3 hours and 60 minutes. How do I know that? Well, I cut it up. I cut the whole thing up, and here are the 6 simple steps I had to go through. First step, download the video and put it in the editing software. Step 2, rough cut the Jenny part. Step 3, cut the remaining 5 or 6 hours into half-hour segments because my editing software was on fire and didn't want to work. Step 4 and 5. Cut all the stuff that wouldn't impact the statements made, double statements, dead air, sighs, humps, breathings, and other stuff with precision cuts. Cut all the things that could be considered offensive and topics that had nothing to do with the video. I'm looking at you, Ra, and you fucking rooftop. Step 6. Cut the points in small parts so no one can claim long man bad. Are we cool? Did anyone get that? Can you tell that this was very tedious work? Probably can't. And while I try to cut as much as possible, I have the strange feeling that sometimes I made precision cuts like a surgeon, and sometimes I just butchered the video. Alright, now that we got all that out of the way, let's move on to the thing I actually want to talk about. I think I would like to baptize EFAP period. And yes, this is a fucking sexual joke. This video is not for kids. I'm also extremely pissy right now, so shut the fuck up. So what is the EFAP period? The EFAP crew reacts to a bad take on the internet. The creator of the video either A, comes on the podcast and the people talk it out, like a painless period, or B, doesn't come on the podcast and A, just stays silent, which would be like a meh period, or B, pulls a long man bad. For those who don't know what a long man bad is, here's a quick explanation. Some guy made an 11-hour response to my joke.
Wow, that's how many likes a tweet got?
What? We don't use this word
We're
here.
evil.
Missy.
Yep.
But that's a
We
bad
are a
no-no.
pill of a scary color,
But
I
in
tell
this
ya.
case, I would say Jenny is actually not the bad one in this story. Yeah, believe it or not. Because I checked the original tweet from Jenny and she just didn't want to watch the video because she thinks the length of the video automatically implies that the video is unstructured. Well, I can understand, and that is why I cut the whole thing up. It's on the internet, you should look it up. Check it out. Probably also in the description. I don't know, I'm tired. I just want to get this done. So while Jenny did pull a long man bad, she didn't felt offended from what I could see. And she didn't send anyone to harass the EFAP crew, so yeah, the negative reception came actually from the people that engage with Miss Nicholson's content. Here's a problem though. on the internet, I never know if someone is trolling me or not, so I just assume they're trolling me 100% of the time. But there was one tweet that brought the spotlight to the thing I actually want to talk about. A tweet from Comfy with Lexi. They watched literally like 10 to 15 seconds of her video before saying, "She looks like a murderer. She looks like an android." Except, no. Some androids are nice looking. They also said, "I never seen her before, but I know I never want to see another video from her." I assume this is
That's something their side would never
bad.
say.
No.
I might be wrong here, but hear me out. These parts of the video don't make the criticism less valid. I cut them out because I could definitely see why someone could see them or deem them as offensive. I think that offense can only be taken, never given. You can call someone a murderer, and if that person isn't a murderer...
Oh, for clarification, by the way, the comment from Wolf being like, "I don't want to watch any of your content from now on," it's like they had like a huge problem with that, and I'm like, anyone could say that. Anyone could just go, "Yeah, I don't want to watch this person." It's like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. You could say
How
it to
many
us.
times have people said, "I've seen one of Rags' video," or "I've seen one of Mahler's video, and I never want to see any of their videos ever again"?
Yeah, and the response is just, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Before you got here, Rags, somebody was like, "It's hard for me to admit, but I used to actually watch Rags content."
It's hard to admit. I know I can't. I know I can't admit it in front of my new friends who definitely wouldn't judge me over that sort of thing.
And yeah, and as for the android comment, so she was overexposed because of the lighting. It made her look super pale, like unrealistically, like smooth and pale. She kind of looks like how androids are often portrayed. I believe I said this in the video. It's like, it's not supposed to be like, "She's ugly." Ugh. It's just like, wow, your lighting kind of fucks you up. That's mainly what the point was. And then the comment about how the way it's framed in that tweet is some androids look nice. The point, I think it was Wolf was saying it to Rags or vice versa, that there are androids in movies, depending on which one you're looking at, where they like look one-to-one like real people. So saying she looks like an android doesn't even make sense in that regard, but we meant the ones that don't.
Yeah, yes. What we really meant was that she looks visually indistinguishable from a human.
Yeah.
Yes, that was our comment. In fact, we probably might end up making that comment a lot.
I just, like, you know, with context for all of them, just like, is that really that harsh? Like, as insults go.
And really, like, the comment was more along the lines of, like, what her lighting was and how overexposed it was to make her skin, like, just look plastic and
Yeah.
just not skin. it was mostly a lighting comment, if I recall.
It was just unnatural for her, like, the production value that she usually has and everything, and size of her channel, all that. It was strange, and that was all your comment was. But
like the channel's been around for a while, so it's like to have lighting that like atrocious. It's like, come on, really?
She looked odd. she had an odd looking face.
I suppose it's good that they highlighted how much of a horrible comment that was, so it gets us to essentially re-explore how bad her lighting is over and over again. It's like, if you want us to do that, we will. It could have been a passing thing, but no, it has to be like the fucking focus of it now. And yeah, and then I guess the point that he's trying to make is that even if there is an insult, like say for example, 2 + 2 is actually 4, you idiot, you don't then go, "Idiot, I'm out." Like, I mean, you don't you can, you know, everybody has to consent to the conversations they're having. I'm not saying that's not the case, but yeah, this thing got blown out of proportion, and they were desperately searching for any and all insults we had in the coverage of it. But yeah, thanks to that guy for making the cut. So if you guys actually want to watch the cut-up version, you can find it in the description of this video, and he concluded, like I said, there's just over 3 hours. Not quite 11 or 12, but, you know.
Hello, you just listened to a segment of the podcast Every Frame a Pause, or EFAP. Hosted by YouTubers Mahler, Rags, and Fringy, and joined by a cycling variety of guests across the internet, they critically analyze media with exhaustive detail while pausing at every single frame. Subscribe to the EFAP channel and catch new episodes on Saturdays, as well as catch their smaller videos reacting to the latest and not-so-greatest movies and TV shows throughout the week. You can also subscribe here to EFAP Highlights for the latest shorts, clips, and supercuts, also uploaded throughout the week. Links to all the relevant channels can be found in the description section below, as well as links to their communities on Reddit and Discord. Thanks for watching.